one of the busy periods, then you might want to hire somebody as a casual worker to, you don't need them as your kind of permanent staff. They're just kind of a flexible resource that you can bring in as you need to. The benefit for the individual is that they don't have to set themselves up as their own company, their own business. They would be paid through the payroll, so they don't have to worry about doing, tax returns and things like that. And they can say no to the hours. So you could offer them do you want to do the shift? They don't have any, requirement to do that shift if they can't do it. Whereas an employee might have fixed hours and they would have to do the times that's asked of them. So there's pros and cons for each of them. Both from a business perspective, but also from the individual's perspective. So it's really just making the right decisions for your business depending on what you need, and making sure you understand the differences between the three, so you don't blur the lines and treat a worker or a contractor like an employee, which could potentially give them more rights than you would hope to, than you plan to give them.
So I have just realised that when I had my craft shop, the people that did work for me were workers. I've just realised that because I did all the PAYE and I did the tax return stuff and all that stuff, but they didn't have necessarily guaranteed hours. And they weren't contractors. So there you go. So I've had workers.
You've had workers. You have.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't have your book back then. I wish I had.
Yeah, but it's confusing. And workers aren't something that really people consider when it comes to hiring first employee. It's kind of it's sometimes sort of, Starbucks has a lot of 0 hours workers and it got a bit of a bad deal in the press. But it is an option for small business owners, and sometimes it can be a great way to have, that kind of flexibility, and kind of offer someone, the person doesn't have to set themselves up on their own business, as I said. So it can be easy to hire people, attract people. So it's just an option that I wanted to share with people, so it can be considered.
It's brilliant. So we've really gone down a massive rabbit hole there about employees and workers and everything. Coming back around to your business, Mandy, how do you find your clients?
Oh, how do I find them?
How do they find you?
How do they find me? It's a very good question. So I run a free Facebook group, or I give out free HR advice. So if someone's got quick questions that they just want to ask, they want to talk in confidence, perhaps rant a little bit about, what's going on in their team.
We like a good rant, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Had a bad day or someone's not done what they've asked. I run a free Facebook group that is solely for UK entrepreneurs and business owners. And I share kind of tips and things like that around how to hire and manage people. So I think people might find me through kind of other people being in that group. It is a closed private group because obviously it's very confidential.
Yes.
But that way. And to be honest, all of my work has come through referrals and from random people as well. So my former PA who I work with at Pearson recommended me, and so I started working with one of my clients that way, and then that kind of led to working with a different client. So most of it's word of mouth, I would say, and referrals, which is lovely.
Yes.
But as I was saying to you earlier, I do need to be hotter on my marketing, and obviously that's your expertise, and that's why I'm part of your group to learn from you about that area.
Yes, absolutely. It fascinates me because I feel that everything to me has turned a corner a little bit in terms of how people initially thought, social media, that's how I'll get all my business. But actually, I think using social media to be social and network with people, literally like moving your networking online so you can reach more people, which is wonderful. But it's the same building blocks as though you were going to a networking event. So I have a mastermind, not sure if you knew that, Mandy, but I have a mastermind of 5 women. And we were talking about this, and one of the girls was saying about, going and trying to, how do you use LinkedIn? And she says, do I post on LinkedIn? And then at the bottom of all my posts say, get in touch if you need help with the service that she provides. And I said, no, like if you went to a networking event, you wouldn't go up to somebody and have a conversation with them for 2 minutes and then say, so if you want to hire me, here's my card.
Yeah.
You need to get on LinkedIn and engage with people and talk to people and start conversations. And as a result, people will become aware of you. And down the line, people, if they want your service, they're going to reach out and get in touch with you. So it's really the same as if you were going to an actual networking event.
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to forget that about social media.
It's true, actually. That's a really good point to make.
So when you're in social media groups and especially in online communities, you know, answering people's questions and helping them with their queries about things raises your visibility. And that's how I think you would spread beyond the word of mouth in your own offline community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good point. Thank you.
Coming on things like this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Mandy, what would you say have been the biggest challenges you've found in the 18 months since you set up?
I think that people don't know what they don't know. So by that I mean, you know, some of the people that I talk to, and they've hired their first employee, and you know, I kind of say, oh, so you know, have you got a contract in place? And they're like, no. Do I need that? You know, or some of the clients, don't have kind of contracts in place. I'm like, well, it's really important that you have that in place, and and here's why. And I give them some reasons. You know, could be things like, if you've got a company and you've hired someone, and this applies to freelancers as well as employees. If you're trusting someone with all your business secrets and your customer lists and your information and whatever, you should have things like non-compete clauses in there, so they don't go and either, if they're a freelancer, go and work for a competitor that's doing exactly the same as you, that's kind of a very direct competitor, or if they're an employee, they don't go and leave your company and go and work for your direct competitor and take all of your information. So having kind of non-compete agreements, confidentiality agreements, things like that, which a contract is a legally binding document, it is really important. So I think for me, it's, people think, oh, HR is just for big corporates. It's not for small businesses. It's certainly not for people that hire just, one or two freelancers or one or two employees. So I think my challenge is trying to educate people. And actually, HR is really about helping you grow your business, build the right team in the right way at the right time, and also help protect you and help you to avoid, legal mistakes. And that's actually for everybody. So I think that's probably my biggest challenge, is helping everyone to understand that, you don't need to hire somebody in HR, absolutely not. But you do need to be educating either yourself or at least, getting the right tools and templates in place to make sure that you're, protecting your business that you've built so hard to create.
Because it could kill a business, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
Hiring the wrong person or getting yourself in a muddle over some contract.
Yeah, and it has killed businesses. Like you mentioned earlier, if you interview people for a job and you don't hire somebody and they challenge the reason for that, and you can't defend yourself, and you get sued for a discrimination claim, which you don't have to even hire somebody for them to make a discrimination claim against you, then you get a big fine for that. Then you could be bankrupt if you don't have the cash flow to support it. So yeah, absolutely, it's it's an important thing.
Oh my goodness, I have an example of that I can't even talk about on air. It was, I'll not name any names or organizations, but basically I was part of a program, and the program leader wanted some help running the program in future and didn't have any process for recruiting the helpers. And just literally, I think I don't know if they said just the first 3 people or whatever happened. And it was, there was it wasn't a discrimination. There literally was no process. And a person who wanted that position, who didn't get it, sued and won quite a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it. It's, you know, it's important for, sometimes it's more important for the smaller businesses that, you know, just don't have the, like you say, don't have the processes there, or, you know, just don't know what they don't know. You know, you who would think that really, if you're not even hiring someone, you could get sued for it. You know, most people wouldn't even think that, and understandably. And, you know, the law is complex and it's confusing and it covers a wide variety of things. And there's lots of reasons why people can sue you. Most people don't, thankfully. But, you know, you don't want to be put in a situation where you're being accused of something. So yes, that's always a, you know, an important thing I try and kind of get across in my messaging is, you know, you just have to be, you don't have to be an HR expert. No business owner needs to be that, but you just need to know a few things.
Yes.
And I try and make sure that, you know, through my free guides and through my group, I'm making sure that people at least are aware of some of the reasons why.
Yes. No, I think that's really important.
You can get yourself into trouble.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, exactly.
What would you say you're most proudest of since you started your business?
I'm very proud I've finished my book and got that out.
Of course.
So I think, you know, some of the case studies that I've got from the companies I've worked with, you know, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of helping one of the ladies that I worked with, a female business owner. You know, we started off when I started kind of working with her, and we talked about how she would rate herself out of 10 in terms of her own confidence about managing the team, and how she would rate the performance of her team. And it was quite a low score. And now we're up to, you know, really high scores for both her confidence. You know, she's just gone from being, you know, almost, you know, uncomfortable running her business and managing her team through to being, you know, really empowered, really confident, you know, really clear on what she needs, what she wants, asking for what she wants from her team. And I think for me, seeing that transformation of an individual is just great, because, you know, it's not in everyone's nature to manage people. It's not easy for people. And some people don't start their business thinking, well, I'd love to manage a big team. Sometimes it just happens because your business grows and you end up, you know, with 2 VAs and a podcast editor and so on. So, you know, knowing how to manage those people and delegate and all those things is great. And I think for me, seeing her transformation especially was just great. She's just done so much to get herself and her team, you know, getting the team in the right shape. So for me, that was great. Another thing I was proud of is, you know, one of the things that HR can do, which not everyone realizes, is, you know, is help to make an impact on the bottom line. So you know, there's another company I worked with, and we saved £40,000 in 3 months by removing a role that was actually causing problems and detriment in the team, because it was causing confusion, duplication of work, people not, you know, sharing responsibilities. And as a result of moving that single role at the cost of £40,000 a year, the business is running so much more smoothly. It's, you know, the team has actually thriving because they now have clarity around what they're doing, who does what, where the handoff points are. Everyone feels like, you know, they are, you know, in control of their own little bit. So again, you know, it can also help to, you know, make the profit and cost, you know, can have an impact on that too.
Oh, I'm all about helping people make profit.
I know you are, yeah.
It's very important.
Exactly. So it's, yeah, so HR is, you know, is a kind of a very broad term. But yeah, for me, it's when I actually make a difference and impact to the business about the way it's happening, or the, you know, and some of my larger companies as well that I work with, still small businesses, but, you know, kind of more people. Again, just seeing the value that I'm having on morale, on, you know, on the business owners themselves and their ability to lead a team. So yeah, I'm really, really proud of kind of those case studies that I've got.
I think that is really what part of being an entrepreneur is about for me. It's seeing exactly what you're saying. It's being able to make an impact on somebody else's business.
Yeah.
And seeing them and their business thrive as a result. I mean, nothing beats that, really.
Exactly. It's So true. And when you know that you've personally made that difference,
yeah,
it's really rewarding.